Hi, Sarah. I'm making this recording so that you can go through this on your own and then we can follow up in person. So, this is a new data package for depression. Um, uh, Most of this has not significantly changed, so I'm going to click through these portions. You can read some of the background. PHQ-9, you've seen these before. Standard stop time, calculations, the standard validated leveling of the PHQ-9. The calculations for quantitative 1 and 2. But here are the proposal of new changes. Everywhere I put this orangish highlighting is a new concept. So here's a summary of changes. I propose that we bifurcate the self-X at the start and ask, do you want to add a personalizer? The first personalizer would be connect to your Fitbit. Second, a true response to the PHQ-9 will now be assigned a level of effectiveness. So you can have modulations in how effective the experiment is. If you drop one level, it's a mild response. If you drop 2 levels, it's a moderate response, and so on. Next, quantitative results will be described as either supporting the findings or suggesting that something else is going on. So the PHQ-9 will absolutely rule, nothing can overrule it, but the quantitative data, which is theoretical, will either support or provide some additional insights. There will be daily quant data presented to the user, and we will ask the user a daily qualitative question like a PHQ-2 to track daily responses, more to keep them engaged and make sure we know that they know we're here and we're all present rather than going dark. And finally, I include and am still building a whole set of error messages, problems, responses that might take the user require us to respond to the user in different ways. Okay, plunging into that, these changes, why make these changes? These are big changes. The only reason really to make them is if we feel like these changes make the product directly better, more engaging, more enticing, stickier, and more likely to be spread by word of mouth. All right, first change. I propose we add this concept of, do you want to personalize it? So you'd start the self-X. Do you want to personalize it by connecting to your Fitbit? Because if you don't have a Fitbit or you don't want to, then we can go ahead with only the qualitative data, PHQ-9. If you do want to personalize it, you then would connect and go down the wearable data path. The advantage is that with time we can add additional, do you want to personalize it? Do you want to personalize it with labs? Do you want to personalize it with other tests? Things like that. Next, the weighting of qualitative versus quantitative. PHQ-9 is standard validated measured depression, so the qualitative will rule, the quantitative measures will corroborate, meaning we'll say, hey, they support your PHQ-9 results. Whereas if the results go in the opposite direction of the qualitative, we'll say, hey, something else is going on here. You're still either true or false based on PHQ-9, but the quantitative data is suggesting something else. This is the standard results. Nothing changed here. This is how we calculate the quantitative results. Next, here is what happens to the PHQ-9 results. Now there's a new additional level. If PHQ-9 goes down by 1 level, we'll message you have a mild response to the intervention. Down 2 levels, moderate response. Down 3 levels, major response. Down 4 levels, massive response. No change, well, that's false, as it's always been. Okay, here's this slide provides detailed messaging, kind of long and complicated here. You'll scroll through it, but for every level, I show 2 things here. PHQ-9 level decrease, 1 level down, 2 levels down, 3 levels down. What that means, the answer is true, true, true whenever it goes down, and if no change, then it's false. And then I describe here what happens when the wearable data is responsive in the same moves in the responsive direction. So PHQ-9 is true, and wearable data goes in the same responsive direction. I provide messages, and if wearable data goes in the opposite direction, PHQ-9 true, but wearable data is basically showing unresponsive. What is the messaging for each of those cases? Then so you'll study that. Then I've started, but have not fully finished, a whole series of auto-generated messages. These are tweets that get pinned to the top of the feed, and they show what happens when data is not available, when data fails, and I'm not done with this yet. I'm going to continue to build it out. And it shows what our message would be and the timing of the message. Here I show what the daily data is that we present to the user, and I give some quick little graphs of what that would look like. And then I have started but not finished what the insights report is, and I have to build all of this out and make a demo, proto of it. I know we're now calling it My Answer, so I am still building that out. Including what we would say for each portion of it, and how we would present the data. So that's my quick run through on this. Thank you very much, and that completes this recording.